tutorial will focus on BCPS 1 lesson tiles. Before I get started, I would like to go over some general information. The pieces that you add to your planner are called lesson tiles. Lesson tiles can consist of Word documents, links, photos, wondrous materials, or lesson plans from BCPS curriculum guides on BCPS 1. Lesson tiles are at the teacher's discretion when to become visible. When you assign your task on your lesson tiles, you can decide if you would like to make them for the whole class or customize it for a small group of students. Well, let's get started into BCPS 1 lesson tiles. You would sign into BCPS 1 like normal and then select Learning Management. Once you come to your active classes, select a class. I'm going to select my Language Arts class. As you see here on my calendar, I have a few things posted on here. These are actually active lesson tiles that I've already developed. On my calendar, I also have some days that are open, which means I did not create anything for those days. So let's take a look and see how can I create lessons on my lesson tiles. Well, first we can start off by going to Lessons. BCPS 1 is awesome because you basically have this online lesson planner where you can add activities easily. Right here is your Add Activity selection option where you would go to find where you want to upload into your planner. As you see here, these are lesson tiles that I've already developed, and we can talk about them later. But let's start with adding activities. So I would select Add Activity. This is going to be this is your first time you get to decide, do I want to make this for the whole class, or do I want to only do this assignment for a select group of students? Of course, the students that are selected would be the students that see the assignment. But for this case, let's have it be for all students, actually. If I did do a group of students and I knew in advance that I wanted to only do a small group, I would save group and give the group a name, especially if it's maybe a group that I see more often than not. Then I would go to Choose Activity. Once I select Choose Activity, a window will appear that gives you many different options where you can choose different activities from. I can choose My Courses, which is a way that shows different activities that BCPS provides. My Links, where I can add websites. My Files, so I can grab something from either the shared drive that I've saved or my flash drive. My Wixies. Each of these are pieces that we can add or go to add things to our lesson tiles. So let's start off with My Courses. I'm going to select one of the courses. Since I selected ELA Grade 4, I'm going to select the unit, and currently we would most likely be in Unit 1, and I'd write Select Items. Again, here I can decide if I want to make this visible to students or not. This is not the only time I can make this option, but for right now, I'm going to make it not visible to students, and Select Items. As you see, I have each of these different pieces, and then the dates are right next to it. Some of this information, response to small groups, instructional planning, and things like that are actually not lessons that I would be teaching. They're just additional resources. So I might not want to put them sequentially, like 1 item per day. Maybe I want to do 3 items per day. Once I do that,
Mrs. Render, you have a parent on hold for a phone call.
It would readjust the dates that you'll see shortly, if it pops up. Hopefully it does. With the different dates that we have, but it would be 3 rather than the 1 that I had already had assigned to it. Shortly, it should pop up. So like I showed you, you could adjust it so it's not just 1 item per day, or you can go in and just select the day that you want to teach something. In grade 4, they kind of start off with lesson 1, the concepts of journey. So I'm not really going to do my lesson 1 in unit 1 in October 28th. So I can go here and select a different day, and let's say that I want to teach it on today, Tuesday, September 8th. And I also know that this sheet right here below goes to that day as well, so I'm going to adjust it. And I believe this sheet as well is part of my activity for that day, so I'm going to add this, and even this one. There we go. So then you'll see that I have all of these for 9-8. So once I hit assign items, they will appear on in my lesson planner as tiles. So assign items. So as you can see, those lessons that we had showed earlier are now on my lesson, or in my calendar, but they're also here in my lesson tiles. But you know what? Say I don't want one of those lessons, or as you see here, just kidding. I can go here and it says teacher view only, and this means that only I get to see that lesson. Say that I don't want the unit at glance here on my lesson plan though. I can drop this tile by selecting drop. Okay. And then unit at a glance will disappear. My internet wants to go at a faster rate. So while I'm waiting for that to happen, when we go to add activity, again, there was many different things that I could add. As you see, it's finally gone. So say I want to add an activity. And this time, I actually want to select it for all students. This time I want to add a file. I would go to Browse. Maybe I would pick this small group activity and upload files. I can select if I want it visible to students or add to multiple classes. Well, this time I do want to make it visible to students, so I'm going to leave that option allowed. Some teachers that are departmentalized might want to select add to multiple classes. And if you did that, you would select it and then write upload files. Then you would select the class that you would like to send it to. I'm going to send it to this class because this is my other stat class. And then copy activity. And both classes now will have that lesson. So as you see, that small group activity that I just posted, not only is it here, it's also going to be in my other stat class that I have. But since it's a small group and I had pre-assigned it to everyone, I'm starting to think, I don't know if I really want to make it to everyone. I just want to do it for a small group of students in my classroom. So I'm not going to drop it because I want to keep it. I don't need to copy it because I already sent it to another group, so I'm going to edit it. I do want it to be visible to students, so I'm going to leave that option still there. I want to see how many people actually get to see it, so I'm going to edit the students. I don't want it for all students, so I think who I do want it for is Ava, Olivia, Kylie, and Antonio. You know what? Actually, that paper is going to be great for them. So it's going to be visible to the students, but only to those students that I selected it to. So edit students. And now it's only for that small group of students that get to see it. I'll also be able to see when they view it and the date that they complete it or see it. So again, just a reminder that this copy option allows you to copy it to another class. So say you didn't copy it in the stage that I copied it and then want to go back to it, you can select a class that you already have and then send it to there. To always check the date because the date matters what lesson tile it's going to go to. I don't need to recopy this because I already put it in my other stat class. So that's one of several ways that you can, going through adding tiles, that you can actually assign a class to a lesson tile. Another way is going to your actual course maps. When you go to course maps, again, I'm going to stick with the ELA grade 4 theme. I'm going to Unit 1. Then from Unit 1, I'm going to maybe do, I want to assign Part 1 Augie. And I'm going to go to Part 1 Augie here. This comes up as one of the lessons that my students and I can do, a typical lesson that we're used to looking at. If I want to add this to a particular class and assign it to a particular day to my lesson tiles inside my planner, I would go to Assign Class. And then I would go to find what class I want to assign it to. And this is my group, my Stat Homeroom for Language Arts, and I would assign it to that class. If I want to assign it to more than another class, I could do that as well. So I wanted to assign it to my Stat Math class. I could do both at the same time, but in this case, I don't want to assign it to my Stat Math. So then I'd hit Submit. Then I can go double check at my lesson tile. Oops, don't need that. And you will see that today, that Augie lesson, if I keep scrolling over, will appear on today. So I have now assigned it to this class, so it should appear in this class, and it will come up. So that was just a quick and easy way to show you how to embed things into your lesson tiles, how to push them out to either the whole class, how to just push it out to a small group of friends. Remember that it will always say that it's visible to students. So if you do not want something visible to students, you need to always remember to unclick it, because it will always give it to all students. So it's something you really want to make sure you remember. Remember that you can copy paste it to more than one class, especially for our departmentalized grades, which is great. And if you forget to do it in the initial stage, now you've also got to see that this scroll down menu is also very helpful, because if there's something you maybe forgot to do, there's ways of customizing it for your instruction. And again, if you added something and you don't really want it there, all you have to do is go to drop. Drop. And then, are you sure you want to drop this? Okay. And if your internet works faster than mine, it would have already probably been dropped. And then you drop it. Again, this is just a quick and easy version. There will be another tutorial that talks about how to maybe use some additional other options, like our repository, and how to add those pieces into your lesson tiles as well. So as our beginner tutorial, hopefully this was helpful. I will be offering a question and answer session later on in the upcoming weeks as well. So can't wait to hear what some of your questions, so that way I can help you. And if you find a quicker, easy way to do this, do share so I can send out another tutorial with your great ideas. Thanks, guys.